Okay, folks, I'm back with another Iceberg explained video, something I'm very passionate about. That's the Gilmore Girls show. Now, I am a casual viewer of this show. I've watched it at least 4 times in completion, and a few other times here and there randomly while I'm doing other shit on the side, right? So, I'm going to go through this. I'm going to answer things to the best of my ability based on my cursory information that I have off the top of my head. And if I don't know the answer, I'm just going to fucking Google it. And we'll just discuss what the fuck is going on in this iceberg. So, to start off, Amy Sherman Palladino. Okay, if you don't know anything, she is the writer and creator of Gilmore Girls. And I think she actually wrote a lot of episodes with her husband, I believe. And I think her husband maybe directed a bunch of episodes. I don't quite remember. We got fast-paced dialogue, cultural references. You know, if you've taken an intro to theater class, that will enhance your ability to get the references in Gilmore Girls by like 50%, because half of the references are references to Henry Miller plays. Town meetings and town events, you know, those are just fun things that happen in the show, you know. Here we go, we got something interesting that I kind of have to think about, I guess, is that we have the Independence Inn, which is where Lorelai works. And how does Lorelai get to the Independence Inn? Well, she runs away from home, folks. She runs away from home. She runs to independence. She gets independence by running away from home. And then, later on, she turns it into the Dragonfly Inn because she has gone into her cocoon, her chrysalis or whatever the fuck, and she has come out as a horrific dragonfly demon lady here to destroy the lives of every man in town. Yep, that's right, folks. Okay, Rory's multiple boyfriends. You know, Rory, she can't keep that shit together. She has some problems in her interpersonal relationships that cause her to struggle. And now we're going to go on to some more interesting shit. So, we got Madeline and Louise. Now, these are 2 side characters from Gilmore Girls who are basically like the kind of lackeys to Paris early on. They basically just kind of show up to be like the strength of the bully, like the muscle, because like Paris, not hot. She's not getting it. She's got the big old Jewish boobs, but that's all she's got going for, and she's like, you know, 5'2" or some shit. So that's why she needs these hotter girls to kind of show up and like kneel down before her, so then Paris feels more confident in her own self. So right, so that's what Madeline and Louise are there for. And then later on, they're there just to kind of like open up avenues of sexual exploration for Rory. I'm not making this up. That's actually what they come back into the show for. Oh, we have like a tiny little text here. What does this say? Lorelai being a second mom to the younger female characters of the show. That is true. Lorelai plays a vital role in being a second mom to a lot of the girls, which is kind of ironic in some ways because she didn't really she runs away from so much kind of like responsibility in her life, but then the one responsibility she doesn't want to run away from is being a mom, which I think says maybe more about the writer than it does the character in the show, but we'll get into that at the end. So, okay, now we got Gilmore Girls in fall and autumn. This is just the perfect time to watch Gilmore Girls. That's it. That's as simple as that, folks. Alexis Bledel and Milo Ventimiglia's relationship. Now, this one I don't know anything about. I gotta look this one up. Alexis Bledel and Milo relationship. I don't know. I mean, I know they dated in the show. I think they dated in real life. Apparently they dated while the show was going on for quite a while. So, I don't know. 2 actors meet on set and then they start dating for 3 years. That's it. Okay. Helen Pye. Who is Helen Pye? Helen Pye. What does she have to do with anything? I have no idea. She's one of the best friends of the show creators. Okay. Okay, cool. Ship War. Ship Wars, that's just like who do you think which character should be with in different relationships and things like that. So, you know, who cares? You jump, I jump, Jack. Oh, is this... I jump, Jack. Is this the one where Rory jumps off the stupid thing with Logan? Oh my god, that is like the death knell of the show. This is season 5? So in this season, Rory is like searching for a story beat and tracking down Logan Huntsberger to this like stupid rich people only do dumb things because we have so much money club. And at the end of it, it's like, oh, we're gonna jump off this thing with just umbrellas, but they have like, you know, repelling gear or whatever, so that they obviously don't get hurt, right? And it's like a cool kind of like leap of faith moment to like, you know, push herself over into not just like a more exciting life and maybe kind of like more dangerous and thrilling life that Logan represents, but also like inoculating herself, maybe that's not the right word, but like ingratiating herself into the, you know, upper crust culture of like super snooty rich losers. And that is very evident in the show because Rory does this to the detriment of her relationship with Marty, which is bad. Rory is a bad person for that, and she should die. Michelle's quotes. Michelle is just the terrible human in every sense of the word. He like basically betrays Lorelai during their most dire moment when the Dragonfly Inn like burns down. And just goes and like finds another place to work. And sure, you know, he needs to do that, right? But he does that behind the backs. Like he's a horrible worker. So all of his quotes basically amount to like, you know, I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. I just want to be a hate-filled loser and like actively destroy the place that I work at. But then I'm still going to complain that I don't have a job or that I have to work somewhere else that I hate. He's genuinely a terrible person. And if you like Michelle, I feel sorry for you. Lorem, they spelled her name wrong. Lorem Grand, apparently, and Alexis Bledel weren't that close. Who cares if the actresses are close at all? We don't really care about the characters, folks. We don't care about the actors. Olivia and Lucy. Who the fuck is Olivia and Lucy? What the fuck is that? Olivia and Lucy. Olivia and Lucy. Gilmore Girl. Who are these people? Olivia and Lucy. I don't remember these people at all. Wait, what the fuck is that? Oh, this is a year in the life shit? Fuck off. Nobody gives a fuck about a year in the life. Okay, so I have to address the year in the life thing. So, I have not watched a year in the life because I was hanging out down the downtown bus stop one time talking to my friend, and I mentioned Gilmore Girls, and this random woman at the bus stop asked me if I was talking about Gilmore Girls, and she asked me if I ever seen the reboot, and she told me not to watch it because it was terrible. Now, in my life, I'm usually the person telling other people not to watch stuff because it's terrible. The fact that this woman told me not to watch it, I took her advice to heart, and I have not watched A Year in the Life. I have had other people I know watch it, and they tell me also not to watch it. So I'm not going to watch it because, one, it took so long for this shit to come out, and we're going to get down to this in a moment. Fucking the actor who plays Richard Gilmore fucking died in real life. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to have a show without Grandpa, okay? Grandpa he makes some bad decisions at times, but he is by far the best actor in the show and one of the best characters. So it's really sad. Anyway, where the fuck were we? Lorelai Victoria Gilmore and Lorelai Leigh Gilmore. I believe, before I look this up, I'm going to assume that this involves the fact that Lorelai named Rory after herself, and then these are their full names. Lorelai Victoria Gilmore. Yep, that's Mom Lorelai, and Lorelai Leigh Gilmore. Yep, and that's Rory. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Yeah. So if you didn't know, folks, you know, Rory is actually, her name is Lorelai, and Lorelai named Rory after herself because she figured, you know, guys name their sons after themselves and then they get called Junior. Why can't a woman do it? So that's why she did that. Ironically enough, she didn't go full and then like have Rory called Junior or Lorelai. She just has the nickname of Rory. Jackson's vasectomy. That is an interesting thing because I think, so early on, Jackson wants like 5 and 5 or some shit. He wants like 5 kids in 5 years, and then Suki tells Lorelai about this, and Lorelai says that's crazy, and then Jackson gets very pouty, and then while driving on a golf cart, he kind of says, oh, apparently my ideas for my family are crazy or something. So, and that's one of those things in the show that kind of is weird to me, is that every male character has this very kind of feminine, passive-aggressive response to being criticized that is very interesting to me. It's very consistent throughout the film. It's I don't know why it exists like this. It just is the way that Amy Sherman Palladino writes characters sometimes, and I find it very strange. Anyway, Emily Gilmore's multiple maids. Okay, well, this one is just Emily Gilmore. She's grandma, and she hates people. She hates humans. And one of the humans that she hates the most is maids, because Emily Gilmore is a deeply unhappy woman, and she wants to take out her unhappiness on her maids when they do not meet her expectations. So she just has multiple maids. Penelon Lott is the person that grandma / Emily Gilmore stole Richard from. So Richard / Richard Gilmore, grandpa, he was dating Penelon Lott, and then Emily Gilmore swooped in like a harpy and stole him away. And then Emily Gilmore doesn't want anything to do with Penelon Lott, doesn't want anyone to hear about him, anything like that. But unbeknownst to Emily, Richard Gilmore sees Penelon Lott once a year for coffee and a lunch, and he has been keeping this a secret through like just failure to disclose. I don't think he's like intentionally hiding it, but he never outright just says that that's what he's doing. He just goes and does it and then just doesn't say anything about it, which is not right. Not the characters in the show are not good people, unfortunately. Okay, so we have Alexis Bledel drinking Coca-Cola instead of coffee. Alexis Bledel, she just doesn't like coffee. She likes Coca-Cola, simple as, Who can fault her for that? Lauren Graham pulling Alexis Bledel over to her marks. Okay, so I had to look this one up earlier. So apparently, Alexis Bledel, she was new to acting. And if you've ever watched Gilmore Girls, you know that they do a lot of fucking walking in this show. And if you've ever done any acting in your life, and you need to bring your body to another location, you're not just doing voice acting, you're doing physical acting with your body. You need to walk over to a location to hit your mark, to be at a certain point for where the script is, and then also like what the scene calls for. So a lot of the shots in Gilmore Girls involve them walking across the street, stopping at a sign, and then walking across the street again. That's like the big opening shot in the show. And usually when this happens, Rory is kind of like with somebody who's kind of like, she's talking to them. She's talking to Keiko Agena, her Asian friend. I actually don't remember what the character's name in the show is. I don't remember the actress's name for some reason. Oh yeah, there we go. Keiko Agena is Team Jess. Well, obviously, right? Actually, no, wait. The actress might be Team Jess, but I don't think her character was Team Jess. Anyway, Richard Gilmore's passing in a year in the life. We don't talk about that because we don't talk about a year in the life. Nobody should talk about a year in the life. It sucks. Lorelai and Dean's sexual tension. Yeah, there is some weird stuff going on between Lorelai and Dean. It's written like, what are your intentions with my daughter? And, she needs to be safe and all these kinds of things. But then also Lorelai is like, oh, hey, Dean, like, come over and fix my house. And it's like Dean is basically Luke to Lorelai before Luke fills that role. And it just has this weird kind of like, if Lorelai was drunk and Rory was like in some fucking mission trip, I could totally see Lorelai being like, oh, Dean, it must be so hard for you that Rory's away, and like, just like, not being able to have that connection, I could help you. Like, I could totally see Lorelai doing that. She is an absolute fucking floozy that will fuck at the drop of a hat. She is a goddamn whore. And go along with that, later on, I think there's what was it? Oh yeah, the show's supposed anti-sex propaganda, which is very true, because anytime anyone has sex in the show, it's either bad or hurtful. It either hurts somebody else or it leads to some bad outcome, or it's a bad decision to do that. For a show that engages in, also, I guess the show is kind of like anti-abortion too, like, because there are multiple opportunities where, there are people who saying that they need to like deal with having a child in different ways, and abortion is never on the fucking table, which might be due to the show. I guess I watched it on ABC Family, but apparently it was on the CW originally, which is news to me. Anyway, where the fuck were we? We're somewhere over here. Boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend. I don't know. I guess this is just, like, Rory being insecure about having guys called her boyfriend. I don't fucking know. It's not that interesting. Who the fuck is Emily Kuroda? Oh, that's Graham. That's Asian Grandma. Asian Grandma and Keiko Agena are still close. That's awesome. That's wonderful. These are actresses that we do care about, folks. That's wonderful. Body shaming jokes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're even jokes, but in episode 1, there is some really weird written commentary regarding Lorelai, Lauren Graham, and Alexis Bledel's, like, boobs, where, like, the script was either written for, like, a daughter who had bigger boobs, because Lauren Graham, you know, Lorelai, she's, like, complaining about how Rory takes her sweaters and then stretches them out with her big boobs, and it's, like, genuinely insane. And you can kind of see, because this is the pilot, right, you can see Alexis Bledel is, like, struggling to kind of, like, perform in this environment, because, like, they're both girls with, like, you know, very small boobs. So it's like, the script just doesn't match the actresses, unfortunately. So it's very awkward. It's a very awkward time, folks. Okay. So where the fuck are we? We are Jess's spin-off show. I don't know what the fuck Jess's spin-off show is. Was that an idea? Jess's spin-off show, Gilmore. What is this? Windward Circle. A year ago. Is this a thing that's coming out? Is this like a fan thing? What the fuck is this? I mean, I don't know how Jess would have a spin-off show, because Jess left Gilmore Girls to go do Heroes, the Hero show, because that was like the biggest fucking show after season 1, and then the writer's strike came, and season 2 was the worst written thing in TV history. So I don't know how the fuck he would have time to do a spin-off show, unless that's like something that was like kind of coming out later. Adam Brody had to leave the show. Adam Brody played the guitarist who was hooking up with Lane, Keiko Agena, you know, the Asian friend. And he was a great character, but unfortunately he was, one, too hot and too charismatic for the show. So once again, a cool male character had to leave to go be on a cooler show, which was the OC. Why you would leave to go be on a dog shit, like, soulless show when you are on, you know, like, you know, a good show, I have no idea. But I guess, you know, when you are just a young, attractive person, you want to be on the show with the other young, attractive people and not on the smart show. So unfortunately, Adam Brody, you are a 0 out of 10 human, because you left the show to go be on a dog shit show. I would say worse things, but that's not going to be kind. Okay, this is a Borley video, not a Barley video. Barley's never seen Gilmore Girls. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Left wing Paris. Paris. I mean, I think she's also generally left-wing, but kind of when she gets to college, she makes a lot more, like, left-wing commentary. Paris feels like the political vocal surrogate for Amy Sherman Palladino, to kind of say, like, hey, here's my opinions on this, here's my opinions on this, you know, and it's, you know, the show came out during the Bush era. So to be left-wing really just means George Bush is stupid, Iraq war is stupid, you guys are dumb kind of shit. So it's really tame. It's not, I wouldn't even call it left wing. It's more like neoliberal at most. Like, it is not like even left leaning at all, but I guess it's on part of the left wing, maybe. I don't fucking know. Luke's cap. So Luke, the actor that plays Luke, is clearly has, like, you know, some deep widow's peaks, and he's balding, and he wears some hats. I don't know anything more than that, other than he has some hats that sometimes indicate that maybe there's some other businesses in Stars Hollow we don't know about. But let's do a little Google search and see what we get. I get basically nothing. So I don't know. This might be a dud one, folks. Rory's book in the Year in the Life. Okay, we don't read that. We don't care about A Year in the Life. But this one we do care about. Rory's relation with failure. That is one of the prime issues later on in the show, is that Rory has moments of failure. She doesn't do good in Yale, and she, like, just has a total fucking breakdown, and she's like, I need to run away from college, and I need to live at home with my grandpa, and I need to have sex with my boyfriend, and then maybe my boyfriend's friends too, because I don't know, maybe I'm just feeling that spicy today, and I need to just, like, kind of, like, you know, insulate myself from the hard life of actually having to try, and I need to just become like a stupid rich floozy and just, like, do dumb pointless pageant show setup stuff or whatever. You know, it's like she uses the time to kind of find herself. But the thing that I hate about it, and the thing that I kind of despise about the show, is I hate rich people. And this show, these people, like, Lorelai is written as somebody who is like, has given up a life of opulence for a life of struggle. But she lives in like a literal fucking McMansion, and she has anything to fall back on. Like, it is not a struggle if you have somewhere to escape to. Like, if you can just, oh, grandma, you know, I'm feeling kind of sad. I got an F in Yale. Can I come live with you and just kind of like chill out while I recover my ego for a bit, please? You're not struggling. That's not even failure. Like, failure is like, fuck, man. Like, it's hell or high water. So yeah, Rory, you're a loser. Mr. Kim, that's a big question. Where is Mr. Kim in the show? Where the fuck is he? Huh? Where the fuck is Mr. Kim? We never see Mr. Kim. We don't hear about him. I think he might have died in the war. Sherilyn Fenn. I do not recognize this name. Sherilyn Fenn. This is an actress. Oh, this is the actress that plays, what was her name? Lucy? What's April? April's mom. Oh my god, this character's fucking terrible, dude. Dude, oh my god. This character fucking sucks. Huge cock. Because she just like randomly one episode is like, oh, you were not perfectly there for my daughter, so therefore I need to like literally uproot our entire lives and move away. Goodbye now. It is psychotic behavior. She has a deep personality disorder if you are so insane that that's what you think you need to do. And also, like, she specifically kept Luke in the dark about being the dad, and like denied him the ability to ever even like know that they had a kid. So like the men in the show are often written to be like passive aggressive losers who can't deal with anything, but the women are even worse. The women are insane. I mean, I love this show, okay? But everyone is terrible. Okay, anyway, Jess's almost rape incident. So if you don't know this, during a party where Jess is like, I don't want to go here or some shit or whatever, and then he has like a negative interaction where he gets like bitten by a goose, and he's like really mopey and sad, and Rory's trying to understand what's going on, and then Jess is like, oh, well, you know, my luck's so bad, I'm just gonna try to have sex with my girlfriend at the shitty party, even though like I know that she's a virgin and probably wouldn't want to do it on this weird guy's bed, which is what she says basically. And then he gets all pouty and leaves, and it's just like, dude, Jess, you are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you retarded? Like, why the fuck would you guys be doing this on some random guy's bed? Like, you have like there's like lower class, and then there's like no class. Like, that is a no class behavior action. Like, what the fuck? Paris has dictatorship ideals. Well, this is just obvious if you have a brain. I mean, did you see the way that Paris ran the Yale paper? Like, she was a fucking nut job. At the end, she's like closeting herself inside this like boxed up like cubicle, and only like her inner circle can come in and talk to her. Keiko Agena is Team Jess. Well, yep, yeah, that's fine. The actress can be Team Jess. What the fuck is there to say there? Paris's relation with failure. That one is interesting because Paris in equal parts has a strong reaction to failure, but it seems to be better. I think she like disappears on like a journey, like a self journey kind of thing or something, because I think she didn't get into Harvard, or she didn't get into medical school, or whatever the fuck. For some random reason, Paris goes from being pre-med to being like a journalist like Rory, because they needed like some way to bring her over. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, she liked the newspaper in the high school, but like, why would you, like, why are you in the newspaper and taking up a slot on the newspaper when you're not even going into journalism? Like, it just, that's just kind of insane to me. But overall, Paris's relation with failure, I think, is better. Other than like the dictator stuff where she just kind of needs to be like told that she's like doing everything wrong and nobody likes her, and then she's like still kind of insane because that's written like as like a joke. But otherwise, like, I mean, she kind of goes on like a little journey, I think, where she has like a stupid like life coach, and she's like, oh, I'm back here now and I'm better and everything and blah, 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 blah. But like, Paris is somebody who like, she kind of processes slowly, so she doesn't like react right away with failure. You know, a lot of the times when she kind of loses in situations with Rory, she kind of just like, oh, well, this plan didn't work. And she kind of just stomachs it for a while before she kind of like reapproaches the situation. So I would say Paris's relation with failure is a little bit more mature. Yeah, Alex Borelstein. Who the fuck is this? This is Alex Borelstein. This is... this is the lady that plays the harp early on in the show, and she has like such a horrible attitude. She is a fucking vile woman. I don't understand. This show has horrible people. She's so mean to the guests. And she's complaining about her job. And they're like, oh, you want me to play this fucking thing instead of like whatever? Why can't I play metal music? And it's like, lady, you were hired to play music for a wedding. Why are you so... if you want to play other music, you have to get other gigs. You have to do other things. I don't know. Like... it is infuriatingly stupid of a character to be hired to do something and then complain about it the whole time. Like, just, you know, you know what, Barley's coming out, kill yourself, okay? If you do not like what the fuck you are doing, just fucking kill yourself. Stop annoying everyone else with your stupid complaining. Like, and I'm somebody, I love to complain, but complaints have to be valid. You cannot complain when you are paid to do something that is your livelihood, and then you sit there and complain about it to the people that you're like hired to do it for. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, okay, be homeless and die, I guess. Like, there's plenty of other people that don't get paid to be musicians that would love to do that. Like, what the fuck? Like, you can find avenues to do other things. You're just choosing not to, and then just being a curmudgeon, horrible fucking person. So, fuck that character in the show. The actress is fine, but the character, absolutely terrible. Lorelai, Christopher Luke, promotional image for season 7. Well, frankly, Season 7 wasn't written by Amy Sherman Palladino, so it's all basically non-canon, but let's look this up. Lorelai, Christopher Luke, promotional Season 7 image. Okay, let's check this out. The season... oh, that's the image right here on the side. This is the image. Let's see if I can get it bigger. Okay, I can't really get it bigger, but I'm going to go look at this one. Okay, so, wow, this promotional image is insane. So it has Lauren Graham, and then Christopher is on a bench looking really eerie. And then in the corner in the back, Luke is like in between some like book cover wall thing, and he's like kind of just looking onward. This is the strangest thing I've probably ever seen when it comes to this shit. Oh god, I keep zooming in. So yeah, anyway, yeah, this is some crazy shit. Holy fuck. April's existence is the deepest lore, apparently. So April is the girl that shows up as Luke's daughter. I like April a lot, actually. Apparently, a lot of people do not like April. I like April because she is another young girl to kind of contrast against Rory, but then also kind of show us, like, what Amy Sherman Palladino writes best, which is, like, young girls exploring and coming of age, I feel like. Because Rory, at this point, you know, when April shows up, Rory is like a slag whore. She has no moral compass. She has no, you know, sense of right and wrong. She is just a vacuous whore. So the show needs a new girl to show up so that Amy Sherman Palladino can write fun and cute dialogue, and that's what April for me is because April is just, you know, she's like, oh, there's a boy that I like, but I don't know how to say anything, and April's kind of written to be kind of like blunt and maybe kind of like autistic, but not that autistic. And I like her character a lot because she is a breath of fresh air in the show when it needed it most, because everyone else is just bogged down in so much, like, just everyone has wronged everyone, and it's just miserable. And April is just a breath of fresh air, I feel like, except for her mom. Her mom is a horrible person. Did Lorelai suffer from psychological abuse? I guess it depends on which Lorelai we're talking about here. If we're talking about mom Lorelai, I would say yes and no. Lorelai, she just doesn't like to live under rules that she doesn't come up with herself. She's a very independent person, and that's totally fine. Her parents are emotionally and I would say also psychologically abusive, but I don't think it's entirely intentional. I mean, Emily definitely goes through efforts to engage in deep, intentional manipulative behaviors, but they're usually to kind of deal with negative reprisals against her. So for example, Grandma, something she does in the show is that when Richard's mom shows up, Grandma brings out the stupid stuff that Richard's mom brings them. So then that way it can look like, you know, here I have this shit all out all year round, so please, you know, don't hate me. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Lorelai, yeah, she probably did suffer from some psychological abuse because, you know, Grandma and Grandpa in the show, they're not nice people. They are very just cruel. And then when you kind of call them out on the mean things that they're saying, they're like, I'm just saying this thing. You're inventing things in your head again, that is some fucking gaslighting shit if I ever heard it. So yeah, I guess I would have to agree with this. She definitely did. The final one here, Amy Sherman Palladino's taste in men, and then it's in parentheses or I can't remember the name of this shit right now. Joke, and I don't think it's a joke. Amy Sherman Palladino clearly writes men in a manner that is reflective of the author. Let's just say, folks, okay, like. There are definitely characters in the show that are just Amy Sherman Palladino surrogates. And you know, Lorelai might be one of them. That's what it comes down to, folks, is that the show, I'm curious if Amy Sherman Palladino is aware of how terrible some of the characters are. And in like relation, how terrible maybe she is if she is some of these characters. And I don't doubt that she is some of these characters, because I don't think you can write some of these characters in the manner that they're written without leaving some of yourself in that character. Like, I just don't think it's possible with the depth of some of the characters. But like with the characters that Lorelai gets with, you know, they're usually these kind of like soft men who have a generally protective nature, who are enraptured by Lorelai, and Lorelai just, you know, always gets cold feet, always gets terrified, and then she's like, oh, what if I get hurt? And it's like, lady, you're hurting yourself. The only person that's gonna hurt you is yourself. You just have to like be brave once in your life. And then unfortunately, you know, for some god-awful reason, they bring Chris back at the end of the show, and like Chris is so fucking stupid. He's so dumb. Like, Chris is the example of like the stupid protective type, where he's protective out of insecurities in himself, and he's not protective in a way that is respectful to the other person, and it shows, folks. So yeah, if the show is a reflection of Amy Sherman Palladino's taste in men, then I would say she needs to interact with not weirdo men, because the show has definitely a type of man, and they are all very feminine and weird. I wouldn't say a single man in the show has any like generally masculine traits. And even like Luke, who is kind of written to be more of like a rugged masculine type, falls away from this kind of idea pretty fast, which is, it feels strange. It feels kind of strange. Yeah, the show is written very feminine for all characters, which is totally fine. I love that, but I just can't overlook how that impacts the dynamics of the relationships, because when the men are having difficulty in the relationships, they become pouty and passive aggressive and weird, which is totally valid and fine, but it's weird when it's kind of always done with that consistency, where they're always like that. It kind of weirds me out a little bit. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading into things too much, but whatever. This is the best Iceberg I could find. There's another Iceberg, but it sucks ass. So, you know, if you don't agree, whatever. If you do agree, blow me, I guess. Thank you for my video once again.